Kingshuk Allen, we are closing in on the big Champions Trophy. Two, slaps given to doubters. One, Rohit Sharma doubters were slapped hard after Khatak's performance. The interview that he gave to PCCI after the 100 in Khatak was, reeked of that Sydney interview. आप लोग जो भी बोलो मेरा मर्जी मैं करूँगा, मैं इतना साल खेला हूँ, मेरे को सब कुछ पता है, आप लोग कुछ मत बोलो. That was probably the bottom line. You felt it, Alan. You wrote a story based on that as well. And also, people who said Pakistan won't be able to complete the Champions Trophy renovation of stadiums, where they have released a video today, a time lapse. Within 4 months, they completed a world-class pavilion also, it seems, with some state-of-the-art facilities. It's good to see. Like, you want Pakistan probably to host a good Champions Trophy instead of, a disaster-filled event. So it's building up. Like I said, questions are being answered. Doubts are being, fears are being allayed.
Doubters are being slapped.
Doubters are being slapped. Fears are being allayed. But when you look at this Indian team combination, like we discussed in the last episode, again the question remains, don't you think there is a problem of plenty which is not good at the moment? All the time you say, oh, good headache to have, having KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant, but you don't know where to bat whom. Looking at this, and there are statements saying that if Bumrah is not fit, India probably have the weakest bowling lineup, fast bowling group in the Champions Trophy. So, 10 days before the Champions Trophy, where do you think India stands in terms of its team combinations? What do you expect? The full squad, probably the updated squad will be coming in a day or two. As we speak on February 11, we are expecting it by even 11 evening or 12, if they want to make it official, that is. So in that case, how do you think this is all going to shape up?
I think when you say problem of plenty, that's directed to the batting lineup of the Indian team. But Indian bowling lineup does not have a problem of plenty at all.
At least the spin bowling lineup has.
Do they? Because Kuldeep played one game and then he was taken off. Varun has been shooed in to the ODI squad, so we don't exactly know how he will shape up. He did decently well in the maiden game that he played, but we don't know what's happening, what the fixed bowling lineup is. Shami is not fully fit. You can see from his bowling thing.
Yeah.
Harshit Rana cannot bowl in the power play to save his life.
Yeah.
He can only bowl second spells, third spells.
Shami is bowling like someone who was age fudging, who has done age fudging.
Yeah. And you have not played Arshdeep in the run-up to the Champions Trophy at all.
There have been some baffling selection calls as well in the ODI series.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to try Arshdeep, you should have tried him. Yes, I know Harshit hasn't bowled in the ODIs before. He made his debut in T20s, even white ball cricket as a concussion substitute in the last series. So Harshit getting a longer run is understandable, but like you said, Kuldeep not getting a longer run after a long injury layoff.
And playing Arshdeep is like a big...
By the way, one more thing is that...
We all thought Shami was being, protected for the ODI series to have a full go in the ODI series. He played 2 T20Is in the 5 T20I series and bowled 6 overs there.
Yeah.
We all thought he was wrapped in a cotton, he was wrapped in a cotton wool so that he can go full tilt in the ODI series, but that didn't happen. And Yashasvi, strangely, one match and he's out. If you really want him as your backup opener, you could have given him a couple more opportunities.
And you also have selected Washington Sundar in the ODI squad and in the Champions Trophy, who you have not played in the ODIs. So there's a lot of questions to be asked. I don't think it's a problem of plenty at all.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a clarity issue.
Even if you had given Pakistan 4 months to complete the stadium renovation, they would have done it faster than this team selection muddle that we are in now.
Yeah, perhaps. So yeah, in the sense that the batting lineups.
Okay, let's make it crisper.
Yeah. So
name your 15 now.
Oh, that's not gonna be crisp, is it? I don't know. So the general squad prevails. Yeah. I think.
What is the general squad? Let our viewers and listeners know.
So Rohit, Shubman open. Yashasvi is the backup opener.
Yeah.
Virat, Shreyas, KL, Rishabh, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Jadeja, Arshdeep, Shami, Bumrah is out, so I'm going to name Varun in there.
Oh.
Kuldeep and Harshit Rana
15 or 16?
is my 15. I think it's 15.
But how did you come to a conclusion that Bumrah is out? What is the latest news, Alan? What is the latest news according to...
So right now, apparently there are 3 people who are working hard with Bumrah at the NCA to get him fit. And that is, at least right now, that is the current situation with Bumrah right now.
So he probably might not play the entire tournament,
but at least
will
maybe
be available for the second half.
Yeah, second half, probably the business end of things. That is when it is happening. To me, it's like, maybe should we really risk him is the question that is coming in, because he's coming off a very, very tough, probably 2-month long test series where he played every single match. So probably it might be something that we have to go with, and we have to try probably Arshdeep and like bank on Shami to help us out, unless we are going into the Mohammad Siraj route.
Okay.
Which is
That's also a possibility, is it?
That is also a possibility. If you want to have a bowler who was world number 1 at one point in time and who has been your main bowler alongside Jasprit Bumrah for a long period of time, probably he is the option to go for, right? But yeah, it is a little bit strange, because for me personally, obviously I'm happy that Harshit got his chance because he's from KKR and whatnot. But the fact is, you are always going to get that kind of a material from Harshit. Like, he's obviously playing his first game. He went for runs. The smartest thing I've always seen with Harshit is his ability to come back. Probably in the middle overs, when a wicket falls and then he comes in, he is able to get it back. And he's able to pull things back. And he's able to get into the wickets column. But at the end of the day, everybody looks at his stats, and he does appear to be an expensive bowler. Probably in the first game, he had conceded what? 3 overs, he conceded 37 runs, and then he ended up with 7 overs for 54. And
that
3
was the
wickets.
24-26 run over also, right?
Yes,
Phil Salt.
So he has the tendency to do that. But again, he's what? 22, 23. He's still a very raw bowler when it comes to it. And for him to go to the Champions Trophy, I feel it's a little bit of a big task. You're asking him to fill in shoes that are too big for him at the moment. I do feel that he will develop into a great bowler. So for me, I would have gone with Arshdeep in these first 2 matches, along with Shami, because Arshdeep has that ability to bowl in the power play.
Also left arm.
And also to be a very, very good death bowler. We have all seen why people were ready to spend the big bucks on Arshdeep.
Because Arshdeep was the highest wicket taker in the Vijay Hazare Trophy that was recently concluded.
Second was
probably the team management and the selectors wanted to see more of Harshit Rana. They probably knew that Arshdeep was their first choice bowler after Mohammad Shami.
But
they
then
wanted
why
to see
did
more
you not use the same logic with Varun then?
So what logic with Varun?
Why did you not play him in the first ODI?
These are calls that are debatable. As in, like, I'm not saying, probably from the outside we are trying to muddle it a bit too much.
And also same
and
with
the
Jaiswal.
team management is clear about what they want and what they don't want from players.
Because see, with Jaiswal, I have always felt if not for that Virat Kohli injury, he would not have played.
But Shreyas Iyer said he would have played.
That is where I'm like, it's a bit baffling. Like, Shreyas Iyer has scored more than 500 runs in the ODI World Cup. Yeah. That is enough to probably cement anybody's place. Just like how Ricky Ponting said that. I thought I was surprised that he was not. He was in and out.
Now he'll be surprised only.
Yeah.
Now
obviously he's got the Punjab Kings thing going on.
Yeah.
But
to give a little bit more context, sorry to interrupt you there, Alan, but Shreyas Iyer at the end of the first ODI, after he scored some 50 out of 30 odd balls or something, he told the broadcasters that he was watching a movie on the eve of the match, and then he got a call from the captain saying that you'll play tomorrow. And then he had to abort that movie night and then get back to his sleep so as to get ready for the next day's fixture. But what baffled everybody, including the broadcasters, was how can Shreyas Iyer, like he pointed out, who has scored more than 500 runs in the World Cup, ODI World Cup, be not your first choice batter in the 11? And so the team management basically wanted both Yashasvi and Shubman Gill in the batting lineup, Shreyas out, and Virat at number 4.
Which I don't know when was the last time Kohli played at number 4 for India?
Or number 3. Or Virat at number 3, Gill at number 4.
No, so...
no, Gill was slotted at number 4 in that match. If you look at it, Gill was slotted at number 4 in the first ODI when Virat was not there.
But then Gill has played
as an opener.
As an
Scored
opener.
more than 1,500 runs in
he
2023
was
as an
successful
opener.
enough at number 3. That was a great innings by him. I had probably written that was a Kohli-esque innings from him, which was true. It was a perfectly set up run chase. But then, why do you need to change things? Right? Why do you need to shoe in a Jaiswal at this point in time when you have had your fixed opening pair going for a long period of time? Everybody knows that once Rohit Sharma retires, Yashasvi is going to come into that spot. I don't think anybody else fits into that mold. Everybody knows that. But right before a tournament, why do you need to make so many confusing changes? And why is a person like Shreyas Iyer, who has shown his batting strength and whatever, like the short balls was his weakness, which he himself answered on the mic and as well as on the field. A guy who has shown so much maturity with his batting is struggling to get into a team which is supposed to be fixed.
And you know what? This is where, at this juncture, I am reminded of Virat and Ravi Shastri's handling of the white ball team. If you looked at Rahul Dravid's tenure, at least in the ODI format, before, of course, he had a lot more matches to prove. But that Asia Cup which came before the World Cup, the injured players got their, even KL Rahul came back. Shreyas Iyer also came back after some period of lull. All of them were given that sense of security. I think Dravid told, like, at the start of 2023 or something, that I know my 18 or 15.
Yeah, I know
So
my
that-
18 and we're going to back them.
And they did so. And they did so. It was a very, very settled lineup. Yeah, you talk about India having a lot of bench strength, India having plenty of players to choose from. It's a happy headache. But when you do this kind of muddle, when you muddle with a set lineup, you had only 3 ODIs between the 2023 ODI World Cup and the England series, right? Or 6 ODIs. Probably 6 ODIs. 3 ODIs in 2024. You didn't have a lot of data to look in. You had a set of players who are not probably in the twilight period. Shreyas Iyer is not. Shreyas Iyer is just probably starting to get to the peak of his career. KL Rahul, as in like whatever asterisks you put, he's still one of the finest players in ODIs. Rishabh Pant, you have to give him that benefit of doubt. After having before his, I think, road accident, he was getting into the groove in ODIs. We all talked about his T20 game, but he was a good ODI player. So you had a set lineup. You could have gone with it. Then why did you have to bring Yashasvi Jaiswal? And the Varun Chakravarthy inclusion also, I don't understand that. Because if you're trusting someone like Washington Sundar, if you're trusting someone like Kuldeep Yadav to get the job done, then trust them. Or don't name 4 spinners in your first preliminary squad. And then 2 weeks after that, you bring in another spinner just because he did well in T20I series. It doesn't make sense at all.
I think
if Kuldeep can't be your attacking option in the UAE, I am not sure how you are reading the game. It's a problem. It's a problem from Morne Morkel and Gautam Gambhir as to how can Varun Chakravarthy be a better attacking option in ODI cricket than Kuldeep Yadav? On what evidence? He can be. But on what evidence can Varun be a better attacking option than Kuldeep Yadav in ODI cricket? You spoke so much about not mixing formats and all that when you were a commentator. Now, after entering the dressing room, you are mixing formats like anything. Harshit Rana, how did he make a test debut there?
Harshit Rana made a test debut after T20
performances.
And then from test debut, he went to T20 as a concussion sub.
And then from there, he made his ODI. See, I can justify the case that you called in Harshit Rana to be the cover for Jasprit Bumrah for the England series. That was fine. That is something that I am okay with. I know again, I keep on stressing the fact, Harshit Rana is not a finished product. He will be one. Like with proper guidance, probably with a guy like Morne Morkel who kind of is similar to a Harshit Rana. He will obviously develop into a very good bowler. But this is something that I witnessed in Sri Lanka also. It was confused.
Washington Sundar batting ahead of, batting at number 5, number 4 there also.
We made so many changes. You had Riyan Parag bowling. You had so many people bowling. Riyan Parag coming in at 6-7. When you have seen it from the IPL sample space that he is not a number 6-7 batter. That was the mistake that RR used to make, and then they rectified it, making him at number 4, which turned out to be a success. So you know that he is not going to be at number 4 when you have Shreyas Iyer in the team. Then why do you need to put in so many people? Okay, you're trying to experiment, fine. You lost the series. Now you're coming into the business end of things. Why do you need to experiment right now? You had a formula that is working, that has given you good results, then why do you need to experiment?
My problem is they don't have the time to experiment.
Yeah.
If you had a stretch of 12 ODIs, then all these would have made sense. But with just 3 ODIs in the lead up to the Champions Trophy, I don't know how. And you know the format of the Champions Trophy. One loss there
And
could
then
throw you out of the tournament.
Tournament, yeah.
And I think Gambhir should be told that, okay, you are a T20 coach, you'll be the coach for the first 20 overs. Then he'll think straight, I think.
And also
Probably
the-
get some VVS Lakshman or someone
And
there
also
to man the last 30 overs.
Also the fact that mixing the formats.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think Varun has done well in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. He has been working.
second leading best wicket.
He has been working. But international game is completely different,
But
right?
then why did you not name, like at the start of the England series in the side, when you had like 4-5 spinners operating in that squad?
He has worked so well in T20Is because he has 4 overs. And these guys are like, okay, let's try to see him off in these 4 overs. They go on the defensive and he has the ability to take wickets. Fine. In 10 overs game, it is completely different. He will have to maintain the same momentum, same work rate throughout the 10 overs, which might turn out to be difficult. And when you have guys like probably a Joe Root or probably a Josh Butler, if he's given more time to stay at the crease, I have seen Varun go for runs, leak runs against a guy like Josh Butler once he's set.
My problem with this is,
That's
you
actually-
bring
that's
Varun
actually a very
Chakravarthy into the
interesting-
fold.
One
You-
minute.
Yeah.
That's actually a very interesting point that he makes. So, Alan says that Gambhir is trying to solve his middle over issue because he wants Varun to operate there and Harshit to operate there. Harshit is not a new ball bowler and he has gone for runs in the first 10. I thought in my head that if Bumrah wasn't available, Shami and Siraj or Arshdeep could be our new ball. Hardik and our entire line of spinners could control the middle. So Gambhir is trying to fix a issue that we are already strong at. And that's what confuses me.
Is Kuldeep not fit enough? Is Kuldeep not 100%? Is Mohammad Shami not 100%? So many, as in like it makes us doubt all these things. As in like, imagine a player like Washington Sundar, you pick him in the squad and then you're told after warming the benches that you're not needed for the Champions Trophy. You'll probably be out. We are picking Varun. And what if Varun fails in the Champions Trophy and his ODI career is done? Like how his T20 career was
done.
nearly done.
Nearly done, yeah.
3 years ago. I get shades of Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli here. Like so much of tinkering. You back Ambati Raidu till the end of till the couple of series before the ODI World Cup in 2019. And then you're told that, oh, you're not needed. Ajinkya Rahane was also in the mix.
Yeah, he did score a
I
century
think
in the run-up also.
once Virat or someone told me that Raidu will be probably my number 5, number 4 batter at the World Cup. And then Jinx was also given that assurance at one point of time in those 4 years' time. And then they were, they were just discarded without any explanation, without any reason. Like Ambati Raidu, even in that World Cup year, I think, at the start of the World Cup year, he performed well in 1 or 2 series. And then just one Australia tour didn't go his way out of the team. It feels like that now. There's so much of, for all that clarity and communication that was spoken during the Rahul Dravid tenure. I think in at least ODI cricket, T20I looks sorted right
Sorted,
at the
yeah.
moment. Samson is bragging about the communication that he gets from Captain Surya Kumar and Coach Gautam Gambhir. Abhishek Sharma is raving about it. Both of them had lean patches, but they were given the backing. Why is the same thing not being applied to the ODI team?
Because you're not playing enough matches now. That's the main issue.
That is when you should experiment less.
Yeah.
You should trust your core
exactly.
group. It's not like you don't have a core group. You're not like Pakistan where if Saim Ayub is not opening, you have to force Babar Azam to open. No, you still have reserve openers. You have the core group. So why fiddle with it? What was the reason behind Yashasvi and Shubman in the 11? I still can't fathom it. Like Shreyas Iyer would have been in any other team, any other ODI team.
Yeah.
Probably among the first few names in the sheet.
Yeah.
But here,
Because Shreyas brings in a lot of things as well.
And
the way he has worked on his bouncers, he made an intent. As in, like, it was a properly well-worded interview that day, I think. He wanted to let it out that I was not the first choice player in the 11 and you can't do this to me again.
And
that's good also.
I can understand Shreyas doing it. Everything you have asked of cricketers in India, he has done. He got dropped from the central contract, dropped from the team, went back in domestic, played every single format, and then made his comeback. Yeah. Now, after...
He's even stopped making so many reels these days.
Won the IPL as well.
Won the IPL.
Right.
Won the IPL beating a star-studded lineup of...
And did not get credit for it.
I mean,
did not get credit
did not
for
perform the entire season in that IPL. So,
But
that,
still,
that
the
holds value.
captain's Rohit Sharma has lived his entire IPL career like that.
So, like Kingshuk rightfully pointed out, you have done the hard thing, right?
Yeah.
You were thrown out of the team for whatever reasons. It was shameful that in front of everybody, you got your contract stripped as well. That is as shameful as it can get. After that, he goes back, he does the work for Mumbai, he plays in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, he does every single thing, and has got
leads them to victory also, I think.
and has got the bank balance that he has performed in the World Cup
Yeah.
at number 4, which is not an easy job to do.
Yeah. Except in the final.
Except in the final,
Yeah.
which none of our players were able to pull off.
Yeah.
And still, you have to bash your head against the door to get inside. That makes absolutely no sense. And he's a very good fielder as well. He has got every attribute to be part of this Indian team without a doubt.
I think a couple of years ago, he was being touted for captaincy as well.
Yeah. We were actually talking about that, especially that bit, that we thought that Shreyas Iyer was going to take over the white ball team at some point.
Like
and
how we
after
all
that,
thought
things
Hardik
just-
Pandya would take over the
Hardik
T20
Pandya
team.
was going to take over. I don't know what happened.
What happened, yeah.
But gun to the head, which department is more confused, batting or bowling?
Bowling.
Yeah. But especially when you don't have the name Jasprit Bumrah there. When Bumrah comes in, it's like, oh, half of the worries is gone. You just need to find somebody to click alongside
Leave it
him
to Bumrah and then sit back in the dressing room and pray to
and pray to God.
Almighty.
Ek wild theory बताऊं? Wild theory.
Yeah.
Remember 2023 World Cup build up to it. Travis Head ka finger toot gaya. Can't play the World Cup. Can't happen. May play the last couple of matches. Won the World Cup, scored a century. We are doing the same thing with Bumrah. Bumrah is fit. NCA में जाके इंजेक्शन कर लिया है. He's completely fit. Will be shoot in just before the Pakistan match. Will win the tournament.
Pray to God that you reach the semi-final.
That is also there. But yeah, for me, it's the bowling department at the moment without Bumrah being there. Which again,
So if Bumrah is not there, Alan, it's a hypothetical question. If Bumrah doesn't recover in time or the BCCI decides that we are not going to risk him, like how Pakistan have decided with Sai Mayu, that for one Champions Trophy we don't want to ruin a career. If BCCI takes that stand, what would be your makeup of the squad? As in like the bowling attack, 3 fast bowlers or 4 fast bowlers?
I would go with, if I am in the playing 11, I would actually pick Shami, Arshdeep and go with Mohammad Siraj as well.
3.
Oh, Siraj is not even in the squad.
See,
dude.
don't forget
Forget
Hardik
about me.
Pandya. Don't forget Hardik.
See, Hardik might be there, but can he give that 10 overs?
But you're going to play 4 fast bowlers.
No, I'm just saying ki when you're bringing it into the squad.
15.
Yeah. Because if Bumrah is not there, I would not.
So you will not want Harshit.
No.
You're going with Shami, Arshdeep and Siraj.
Yeah.
Siraj, who has been probably training in Hyderabad somewhere, you're going to bring him back.
That is what I would. Because see, Harshit, for all this thing, it's not right now. It's not that step for him to make.
This is what this selection has done.
Yeah.
This is the confusion that it has created on the outside, and it would put a seed of doubt in the players' mind as well. That, okay, I was being in contention for a Champions Trophy squad. What did I do wrong?
Like ideally, when you're leading 2-0 in ODIs against a team going into the Champions Trophy, your podcast would sound like, okay, India have done this, tick mark, great job, fine, we are heavy favourites to win it. But at the moment, it doesn't sound like that.
As in,
That's
like,
the issue.
we'll remind our viewers that we are shooting this podcast on the eve of the third ODI.
Where
the third ODI is there is room for experiments, but India have already done enough experiments. Now will they get it right in the final ODI?
and there is no press conference also for us to ask these
You
questions.
shoot in the dark, like how?
Wait, what did you say your makeup of the pace bowling attack was? If you were going to make a playing 11,
No.
What
Not
was
the
your
playing 11.
Not
no,
the playing.
so if you were making a playing 11, what would your pace attack be?
I would go with Arshdeep.
Who has not played a single ODI?
Yeah.
Probably will get
Go
a
on,
chance.
yeah, go ahead.
We'll get a chance in Ahmedabad.
Will get a chance in Ahmedabad. But for me, I would stick with a guy like Arshdeep who has got some
He
kind
has
of
played
form.
ODIs also. 6 ODIs.
6 ODIs or something. Shami is a bit of a concern because he's not getting the pace up. But
It's like beggars can't be choosers now.
yeah, so but it's also the fact that if you are not going to play Shami, who has got at least some game time, you'll have to go to a Mohammad Siraj who was probably training in Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
So it is like it's a completely different. It's a completely confusing situation that has been created for us,
Hmm.
which should not be happening, especially with favorites. You've got Australia who are like 4 men short,
Yeah.
but still feel like, it's okay. We'll go and try to win the trophy.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that also. But what is your playing lineup, Pacers?
Bowling lineup.
Bowling
Mine
lineup.
is I have like he said, you have to push with Shami, Arshdeep, Hardik, and then Kuldeep, Aksar, Jadeja.
So no Varun for you in the squad also and the playing 11 also.
As in, like, yes, he can be, that mystery factor can be there, but like he said, ODIs, you can just play those 10 overs out for, like, say, 50 runs, which is what England did in the second ODI. They lost a wicket. I think Phil Salt
Tried
went
to
for that
accelerate
shot.
and he went off.
Yeah,
But
Salt kind of thought I have faced this guy before, I can do this. But I don't think teams will, lose like 5-6 wickets like how they lost in T20.
T20s, yeah.
But if you're not going to trust Kuldeep as your attacking option after what he has done to Indian cricket and ODI cricket over the years, then you probably bring back Muttiah Muralidharan to your squad. That would be my thought process.
That's actually an interesting thing that you mentioned is that Kuldeep as an attacking option and Varun did not pick wickets in the middle overs. But also the other thing that I was looking at is that he did concede only 3 boundaries and a 6 in his entire spell on his debut. So now is Varun a defensive option in ODIs while Jadeja picks the wickets? Because they are bowling in tandem.
Jadeja on his day will pick up wickets. On his day will, he doesn't. Sometimes it's not, as in, like, not taking no credit away from him, but he can be a little expensive. We saw the Champions Trophy final in 2017. The very reason that India moved past Ashwin and Jadeja and went back to Kuldeep, brought in Kuldeep and Chahal was because finger spinners were getting hit. But Jadeja he has been doing the same thing again and again. It's not like, Jadeja has gone in for a 3-month, taken a 3-month break and developed a new ball and come back. No. He has been keeping it simple. So it might work, it might not work. Good that he is taking wickets. He's trying to be aggressive. But you need an out-and-out aggressive bowler. Like, Varun can be that, but he's an untested commodity in ODI cricket at the moment. So, I just for the sake of not crushing Kuldeep's confidence, he should have been one of the finest bowlers in world cricket now. But with India's handling of Kuldeep over the years, it has not worked in his favour. And to an extent, he has had fitness issues, he has had confidence issues. He broke down in the middle of a cricket field. Yeah, mental issues and all that. But he has tried to overcome that. He has had a good World Cup campaign. He was very good in the T20 World Cup also. So why not back him when you already have a proven commodity? Ask the South Africans to play Kuldeep, they still can't pick him. That's the truth about it. So he has the variations. He has, if you wanted, so there was a concern that he doesn't bowl enough. He doesn't get pace of the hand. He has improved all that.
Yeah.
So coming back from an injury, like what Dravid did by giving KL and Shreyas that benefit of doubt and backing them, I think Kuldeep needs to be backed. He needs to play the third ODI in Ahmedabad before he is on that plane to Dubai, is what I think.
And as you pointed out, many of the teams still, if you put Kuldeep against this England team in a T20I game, he'll also get 5 wickets.
Ask Babar Azam.
Ask Babar Azam.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to pick a guy like him.
Yeah.
And like you said, what I have felt was that the blueprint that you had for the ODI World Cup, it was near perfect.
Yeah.
Near perfect. Obviously, we lost the final.
Had Hardik not been injured, it would have been a different case there also.
Yeah. It was near perfect. So why do you take it out, tear it apart and write down the same names, but then try to shoe in a few people just to show that, this is different?
Probably then people will say, Gambhir hasn't done anything. It's Rohit's team that was groomed by Rahul Dravid. Probably what he did at KKR, bring Sunil Narayana to the top of the order.
Obviously he made a few tactical switches probably in KKR, but the team was more or less the same.
Gambhir should realize that he has a T20 World Cup up for the grabs. He is going to win that, looking at how India have been playing.
But why do you
And he should be thankful that they are not playing the World Test Championship final.
Oh, yes. Very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
So, I agree with Alan. Why do you want to, fix something that's not broken? That's my question.
What are the other teams that are lining up against India? Like, do they have the same problems or what are we looking at?
Australia have, they are losing players at the rate of knots. So, I am a little worried. As in, I don't think Australia are going to do well this time. But if Steve Smith gets captaincy, then it's a different ball game.
I think
he loves leading teams in the subcontinent. He has said that openly in the past as well. He has crushed Sri Lanka, that unbeatable Sri Lankan team at home,
Hmm.
which looked unbeatable. I'm not exaggerating that. They have made it look like they ran over Sri Lanka. And they still have backups like Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood. Difficult to replace, but they are not irreplaceable like Jasprit Bumrah and ODIs, right? Do you agree with that? As in, like, that's my assessment.
I don't think that it is possible to replace Pat
have a
Cummins
Spencer
and Josh
Johnson.
Hazelwood. But very different bowlers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Extremely different
Nathan Ellis
bowlers.
is not in the mix, right? No, Nathan
He
Ellis.
might come now, isn't?
No.
No, Nathan Ellis is not
No.
there. I think
some Aaron Hardy is being spoken about. Is
Aaron
it?
Hardy could come in as the Marcus Stoinis replacement. He does both what Stoinis used to do as a all-rounder, give you those 6-7 overs and like
Yeah.
go berserk.
Yeah.
That Aaron Hardy can do.
I think Smith will walk up, say, I'm going to get back to my leg spin days, bowl 10 overs for you guys.
Yeah.
And have Travis Head also do
Travis
the
Head.
No,
Yeah.
what Australia have to do is that they have to pile on like 350, 360 runs every single game
Yeah.
if they wish to survive. Because
Yeah.
if say someone like Spencer Johnson comes in, he's a great bowler, he's a fantastic guy, but he has that pace, like you can flick him off and
Sean
get a
Abbott
six.
is there. Yeah,
Sean Abbott might be
in the
brought
mix,
in,
right?
Might be brought in.
Sean, I think the names that they have mentioned was Spencer, JFM,
Xavier Bartley.
Xavier Bartley,
Cooper
and
Connolly will also stay back with the team.
Cooper Connolly might stay back with the team. Yeah, that is also.
And would they
Are we
bring in
gonna
Bo
see?
Webster
Are
also?
we gonna see Nathan? Yeah, Bo Webster probably yes. And are we gonna see Nathan Lyon making a return to the ODIs?
no chance. But yeah, if Aaron Hardy is there, he's one of those guys I've seen in the BBL. He's a pretty good Marcus Stoinis replacement.
Has David Warner not put his hand up?
He did.
Yeah,
And
again, did he get shot down again?
No,
I don't think.
he put his hand up once. Everybody chose to ignore it.
Yeah.
So
He's learned his lesson and moved
yeah,
on.
he's
leg
like
spin. David Warner's leg spin.
leg spin,
can
yes.
come in handy.
Yeah.
Australia are one team that look a little shaky at the moment. Pakistan at the same time, they don't have a Saim Ayub. The fun fact is they might not qualify for the final of an ODI tri-series that
They are playing right now.
they're hosting. They lost to New Zealand. They got battered by New Zealand. And New Zealand has beaten South Africa in the second match as well.
And
So New Zealand are through to the final.
Pakistan did not have stadiums till yesterday, so
That is.
I
Also.
think they'll be fine, decently
But
fine.
there is a bit of concern about Haris Rauf also. Pakistan are probably injury concerned.
Haris Rauf had suffered a sprain, but he is supposed to be fit for the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
The problem was when I was so I did not get to watch that match. I had a look at the highlights of how Pakistan kind of crumbled in those last overs. It was very reminiscent of that, if all of you guys remember, that Ross Taylor innings in 2011 when he took them apart in the last 5 overs. It was very similar how Glenn Phillips played.
Yeah.
And it brings again the same point if the ball swings, Shaheen Shah Afridi is great. Otherwise, he is going to get hit for runs.
Yeah.
And that was the same case. And their spin department,
What is the spin? Where is
the only thing that they have is Abrar Ahmed.
Spin, not a department.
Yeah.
It's spin.
And then for some reason they decided to bring in Kushdil Shah and they were arguing that he has performed well in Bangladesh Premier League. I mean, India's confusion is there, but then when you hear such statements, you're like I saw that he was bowling at a guy like Daryl Mitchell, who's known to be a very good player of spin. Now, to outfox a guy like him, you need to be a very, very extremely good at the top of your mark kind of bowler. Kushdil was coming in, bowling gentle left arm spin, was getting hit for sixes. And I was like, okay, is this your grand plan? And then obviously Babar as an opener where he has now in total scored 36 runs in 3 innings. Of which his highest score was 22. And in that match, when you are chasing 330, he scored 10 runs of 22 balls. So that is genuinely Pakistan has lost a lot with Saim Ayub not being there. That has been their biggest problem. When they lost that guy, their entire plan...
Saim Ayub and Fakar could have been a very good opening duo.
Opening.
That's what's like funny to me. Like the only potential threat when you go and face Pakistan
is
the guy who doesn't have the central contract. Fakhar Zaman.
And in that game also, Fakhar Zaman was taking apart the New Zealand bowlers. The moment he got out, everything just crumbled around them. So he is the only guy that you genuinely say that, okay, I have to fear this guy. Because we do have fear from Fakhar Zaman from the 2017
Looking
time.
at how Pakistan have been playing their ODI cricket, probably after that legendary Sarfaraz era in that 2017 Champions Trophy, that was also Fakhar Zaman or nothing.
Yeah.
That was kind of similarly, that was the vibe there. Look, see, they are hosting an ICC tournament for the first time since 1996, but it looks like their ODI cricket is stuck in 1996.
Perhaps.
Like T20Is also. I mean, I'm not T20Is worse than the ODIs, but I don't think they will be a genuine threat in the competition. Looking at how New Zealand are playing, they look like the proper ICC vibe team this time. 2023 World Cup, they missed out. Did they miss out on the semi-final? They missed out on the semi-final. Oh,
2023
because-
World Cup, no, they were there. No, we beat them in the semi-final.
Oh,
too.
yeah, yeah.
But
How
New
can
Zealand
I-
were actually quite an impressive team in the World Cup.
So they are warming their bogies. Pata hai? I think they will top the group.
And Williamson is hitting centuries in some
72
72 balls. Yeah.
I was like,
That SA20 trial where he had gone and he played well also. I think SA20 kind of helped him, and he was... And also the fact that Pakistan produces these flat tracks, so anybody, a guy like Kane Williamson was in good form. You saw that Bretske scored a 150.
Yeah.
It was a high scoring game at the end of the day.
Is
But
Rohit Sharma thinking already?
the problem,
Why are we not going to Pakistan? I would have scored.
yeah,
a couple
like
of
like
hundreds.
the problem, what will happen is that if Pakistan make flat tracks to bat on, and then teams like come to Dubai, where there are spinning tracks, where neither will India be able to play their game, nor will they be able to play their
the
game.
other guys, yes. So that is something where, probably Pakistan is also trying to tackle teams with the lightings and arrangements as well.
No comments here. All allegations, unproven allegations.
But yeah, I mean, jokes aside, I think probably Pakistan's biggest thing right now is the fact that they need to have Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan get back into some kind of form. Probably that South Africa game, again, that's also not something that is a fair thing, because that South African team is something, they do not have 7 players, main players who are missing.
Yeah.
They will have Klaasen and Maharaj coming in for the second match, and then they will have the entire team available for the final. That's it.
But a full strength South Africa, is that a team to be wary of in ICC Champions Trophy?
I do think yes. Keshav Maharaj. And
Tapresh Shamsi.
Temba Bauma is there, right? Temba is the captain.
Temba is the captain.
Temba is the captain.
Markram also coming in.
Yeah.
And
If that team clicks,
then it
somehow
is great.
it clicks.
Yeah.
But gem of a team.
But
But
that
they've reached the ODI World Cup semi-final, so don't forget that.
But that is the thing, right? You look at South Africa. If you want to see how there are 2 phases to South Africa. The first match, I think they played against Australia. They completely destroyed Australia.
Yeah, and
then
then
they
lost steam a
faced
little bit.
faced Australia in the semi-final, and then they lost convincingly to Australia.
Yeah.
That was a rigged pitch in Kolkata.
Very on-off team.
Rigged
Very
pitch.
on
But
off.
could, like, talking about the Australia group, since you guys mentioning that, without their
Who are the-
4
who are the
top
other
bowlers,
4? Australia?
Australia, England,
South
South
Africa.
Africa, and Afghanistan.
Afghanistan are topping the group. From what I see.
could happen, because I am thinking that Australia are going nowhere without the top bowlers. Like, imagine replacing 4 bowlers in your side. Yeah,
You were
that's
hurt
not
when
happening.
And-
I said Bumrah Cummins is not irreplaceable as Bumrah.
And
Yes.
the same problem, like a guy like Spencer
Yeah.
is good, probably will become a great bowler going in the future.
2 years
Not-
down the line.
Not
Yeah.
now, not now. Spencer is good in T20Is. Just like probably Harshit. Harshit is good in T20Is. Spencer is also good
But that yellow jersey itself intimidates. Yeah, as in, like, ask Rohit
That is the
Sharma,
thing. Like,
ask KL Rahul, they'll tell you.
Spencer Johnson pumping in 150 Yorkers, India.
In ICC
1 for 3.
tournaments, 50 over tournaments, wear that yellow jersey and play even some state team, they'll do well.
And I'm always afraid of these bowlers that I have not seen before.
Yeah.
And especially players that can hit that 145 mark. Because it's just one ball that needs to, like,
Hey, Bhagwan, just eliminate Australia in the group stage.
But
No meeting them in the semis or
but
the
that
finals.
is also the thing, right? That group
Yeah.
has one team that is like that. I had to write the preview for today,
Yeah.
which was England, and I have not seen such horrendous form. went to West Indies, lost the series, came home, lost to Australia, then again went to West Indies, lost the ODI series.
They are happy that someone in the opposition is playing their brand of cricket,
Ah.
playing it well.
And
They are happy with that.
I don't understand the obsession behind. Yeah, we have lost the ODI series. We
But
don't
Rohit
care.
Sharma is batting like how we
How-
want to.
Yeah. And we only want to win the Champions
Champions
Trophy.
Trophy.
You know,
If you have lost
reminded me-
everything in the run-up, how will you win the Champions Trophy randomly? Yeah?
It reminded me of Virat Kohli's 2019 or 2019, I think, before the World Cup. Dhoni smashed them at Chinnaswamy, I think. And then Virat was asked, how do you assess Dhoni's batting? He's like, it's very good.
Very good, yeah.
Because he will play for our national team in the future. Butler is like that. You know, Rohit Sharma is scoring at a pace of knots, and then he's scoring big also. That's how we want to play. But we will not play that.
Yeah.
We will play mindless cricket. We'll ask Joe Root to do the improbable, hold one end, and also score. Okay. As in, like, what were you saying? As in, like, England might end up at the bottom, is it?
I genuinely feel so because they have got. So, what I have seen is that they've lost 2-1 to West Indies away from home, 3-2 to Australia, which was going towards a 3-0, 4-0, 4-1 kind of a scoreline. They were able to, one good innings from Harry Brook was able to bring things back. That Australian team also was not full strength, by the way. They also had a lot of players missing from that lineup that had gone to tour Scotland and then gone to England. Then they go back to West Indies once again, lose the series 2-1 to a team that has not qualified for the Champions Trophy. Come to India, lose
Play against the second string side.
lose 2-0 already. Then your batter, your opener, Ben Duckett, who has, I don't know, probably it's the air in India that
Air and heat.
air, heat, smog, all these factors in India that triggers his brain to say mindless statements that I don't care if we lose 3-0 in the ODI series, we want to win the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, the funny thing is England started this whole thing of playing aggressive cricket. But it now feels like they are the worst version of that software update right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I think-
every other team has gone ahead, got their...
You know, if we start arresting people for these, you know, crass jokes and, you know, insensitive comments, I think England's playing 11 should be, including their coach, should be behind the bars. Since the time baseball started, it's been about entertainment. It's not been about winning.
It's not been about winning at all.
Like,
You know, when baseball came about, Kingshuk and I were fans in the very same sledging room a couple of years ago.
there is
No, test matches. Test matches, I'm still a fan. I think that when England came to India, they gave India the hardest competition we've seen in years. Like, till 3 days, the games would be like very tight bound, and then India's brilliance would get them over, which I'm fine with. But since that the white ball team take over, it's just been confusion after confusion. Not only England not have the depth to counter any team in the world, but their players seem like that, okay, I've scored a 50, my job is done, now you take over.
You know, Ian Morgan was not different. Pata hai? He said 50 overs is not a very long game. He said go for it. That was their approach. But probably he backed players more.
But Morgan
He
would
had
score
the conviction.
hundreds in the middle order. Yeah?
yeah,
Of course.
Morgan would score that.
Yeah.
You look at this...
Jason Roy
Jason
up
Roy.
top would
Up
score
top.
hundreds.
Alex Hales before he was thrown out.
You have Ben Duckett and Phil Salt who can play, who has shown that they can be aggressive up front. Power play, they are good. After that, they are done. Then you have Joe Root, who has always been classy. Harry Brook can't play spin. Josh Buttler can't play spin. Liam Livingstone cannot play spin. Then you have another big confusion that they have. They have brought in pacers. They've got Jofra Archer, Mark Wood, Bryden Cars, Jamie Overton, Saqib Mahmood. I don't know who are they going to play in that in Pakistan. Where
I think they are thinking that the pitches are of the old era, and there's only one new ball. They'll get some reverse swing there.
Yeah, and their only specialist spinners is
Adil Rashid.
There is nobody else.
You
I
have
think
to
a couple of teams are stuck in the 1996 time loop, I think.
you have Liam Livingstone, who's genuinely saying is good in T20Is as a handy part-time bowler. Yeah. If you want him to be bowling 10 overs, good luck. He's going to get hit for 80-90 runs. Adil Rashid is the only good guy that you have. Now, your captain, Josh Buttler, comes out in the T20I series saying, oh, Adil Rashid is our most important player. then why don't you have anybody to support him?
Yeah.
He's not going to do that job alone, right? England, like I said, brought in a new software and now they are the worst version of that software update.
Yeah.
Because other teams have gone far beyond with that aggressive approach.
It's like a little bit like iOS, no? When you get it, it's great, but after that, it's shit. But yeah, before we, since we are running short of time, before we wrap this up, I just want to ask you one. Before you look at your neighbor's, washroom, how do you want to assess the biggest problem in your team? Who should play as the wicket-keeper batter for the Champions Trophy? Is the backing that KL Rahul is it justified?
100%.
For playing that, so he'll go to Ahmedabad on Wednesday. He should be asked to watch the highlights of that match and explain, when did you in this innings think about attacking Pat Cummins or Mitchell Starc? He said in an interview, I think, he was confused about whether to attack or not. I did not
see any confusion. The plan was clear. I will defend my life.
Once Virat got out, you got spooked. As in, I'm not blaming him. Things happened.
You're pointing out KL Rahul in that.
Even the greatest Sachin Tendulkar, top-edged one and then let that World Cup.
I'm very confused with both our wicketkeeper batters because both of them have come up with atrocious statements. One had said that if I was playing the World Cup final, we would have either scored 300 plus or got out for 120.
Yeah. You played that 2019 semi-final also.
And then for me, I would suggest KL Rahul has to be there because, like I said, Rishabh has not found that groove that he has lost in ODI cricket and he has not got that many chances as well to play ODI cricket.
But if you're going to play Aksar at number 5, then KL at number 6 doesn't make sense.
Probably that is something again, that's a whole different sort of confusion that we have.
No, the black hole that Gambhir created is that.
This is the session 2 of this episode. We'll continue for another 20 minutes.
The black hole that Gambhir has created is that he wants a left-hand, right-hand combination. So KL Rahul has to drop down at number 6. Rishabh Pant cannot come in because Akshar Patel is playing with him. So left-hand. So he can't play. So not only are we ruining KL's career, we are not going to let Rishabh play his thing for ODI also.
One stone, two birds.
One stone, two birds.
Or two mangoes, however you want to look at it. Yeah,
that's the Gambhir thing.
So both of you agree that KL Rahul should
100%.
be the
continuity, like you said, that a sense of continuity has to prevail. Test team, you played him at number 5-6 in home. Then overseas, you asked him to open. Yeah. So his test career got messed up again. And now in ODIs, you're doing the same thing. T20I mein, he's not even in the question. So, kya karna hai? Batao.
Probably I would go for Rishabh Pant because I need that X factor in the middle order. We all saw what happened in the 2019 World Cup. Again, going back to that.
Kuldeep Yadav might bat above Rishabh Pant. That is the problem.
Kuldeep's batting has also improved considerably. He can hold his fort in the middle. But I think we have good depth. I think it's about just getting it settled, I think the third ODI in Ahmedabad will give us a lot of answers as to how India are thinking. Or probably we have to wait till the Bangladesh match. Or probably we have to wait till the Pakistan match. Or probably wait till the semi-final to learn
what's our
best 11.
By the time I hope our 15 won't come back home.
Champions Trophy top 4 semi-finalists.
No, but for that we have another episode, Kingship, next Monday. But if you want to go for an early prediction, you can.
Yeah, brave call. What do you think?
I think it's Pakistan, New Zealand. And then, let me be fair. India, Pakistan. Ruling out New Zealand, that doesn't work. It's okay. India, New Zealand. Afghanistan, South Africa.
What about you?
Same. I am guessing Afghanistan will pull off that win against England, and I feel they can shock Australia as well.
Yeah.
South Africa seem to be settled because they need to get their entire team coming in back. But most of them seem to be in good form, so I am going with South Africa.
Keshav Maharaj and Tabraiz Shamsi. Good spinners to have.
Plus Aiden Markram.
Handy bowler.
Handy bowler can't bat.
Can't bat.
Yeah.
But in India's group, I think Pakistan genuinely saying I don't think they'll have...
Unless Babar
and Rizwan get into form.
Yeah, or Fakar gets them home every day.
Because the bowlers seem to be a little clueless. if the ball does not swing.
The ball is not going to swing. Where in white ball cricket have we seen swing? Except in England, 2013 Champions Trophy final, where we saw it swing left.
That's shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful plug.
But your top four.
Afghanistan, Steve Smith, and India, Pakistan.
India, Pakistan. So how on earth are you ruling out New Zealand? I want to understand that.
There's no logic to it. I just think that like
Dil se baat kar rahe hain.
दिल में आता हूँ दिमाग में नहीं type.
So you want an
Full
India
vibes.
Pakistan final?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure. Why not?
And then
That's an easy win for us.
Okay. On that note, we'll end this podcast. But we need to ask our listeners and viewers as well as to what they think would be the final 15. It can be released anytime soon, or it might not be released, or we might not make any changes. We might make any changes. There are so many permutations and combinations. You can chip in with your views on 8588966996. If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast, please do rate us. And like we always say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave your comment. We'll be more than happy to learn your feedback. Thank you. Have a great week.